next question is when aliens interact with humans, they bring a message for mankind. Chuck Missler talks about in his book how whenever these guys show up, they don't have a cure for cancer, they can't solve all of these different problems with humanity. They don't bring superior scientific technology or anything. They want to talk about what?
They talk about who God is as a life force, as a force. They talk about many times, as I just mentioned, that they, the aliens, genetically manipulated us. They talk about that they have a holographic film of the crucifixion, which will be actually in Nephilim 3. I'm working on that now. That's part of the hook of Nephilim 3. In the book, the first book, Nephilim, it talks about the protagonist is in Area 51, and he's deep underground in this secret room, which really has its basis of that is in Bob Lazar's story, where apparently Bob Lazar, for those of you who don't know, quick update is that it's a man who supposedly worked at Area 51 and handled and saw UFO craft and handled the element that is responsible for making the crafts fly. Now, whether that's true or not, who knows? There's another UFO guy, Stanton Friedman, who doesn't believe a word of it. I say that to say that that he talked about, Bob Lazar talked about a room in which he would spend no more than 20 or 30 minutes, and in that room were a series of documents, and they were unlike anything he'd ever seen. They were almost like, as you turned the page, it would be like cellophane, but you would actually see three-dimensional pictures, and it was like it was the alien Bible, it was alien literature, talking about, they had pictures of like ancient civilizations and how they had come here and how they had genetically manipulated man and all this stuff, and it's always the same thing. Art McKenzie, the protagonist in Nephilim, poses the question to one of the skeptics in book 1 and says to him, I echo your words, why come a gazillion miles to tell us that Jesus really wasn't the Christ, and that he really wasn't the Son of God, and that the work of the cross was unnecessary, which is what they tell us? Why not give us the cure to cancer, or end world hunger, or start global peace, something, do something constructive? Why attack that? And, as all my research in the occult and in cults in general, there's always two trademarks of a cult, and one is they deny the deity of Christ, and the second one is they deny the work of the cross. They always go after those two things. Well, he wasn't really God. He was just he was a good man. He was a guru. We genetically made him. He was a walk-in. We inhabited Jesus' body. The crucifixion really wasn't necessary. We helped in the resurrection. And that's, when you get into this stuff, that's what they talk about. I mean, I'm not saying this. I'm just repeating what people who have had encounters with aliens. This is the stuff that they bring back and tell us. So as Christians, our antennas should be up, flags should be on the play, whistles should be blown, call a timeout, and say, wait a minute, what does Paul say? Anyone who brings us another gospel, let them be anathema, let them be cursed. And that's another gospel, isn't it? Saying that Jesus, is not the Son of God, that he wasn't here in the flesh, and that the work of the cross really didn't matter, which is everything. The work of the cross is everything.